Wait, have you seen that meme of the little kid who's got the ball and he's like, it has deep snow. How's it going? I'm John from the Radavist, and this is my big pink bicycle. So one of the reasons why I started documenting cycling culture is I felt like there were all these outliers in the bike industry that weren't getting any recognition. And one of those outlier groups are frame builders in the US. Yeah, people talk about frame builders, but back in like 2006, 2007, when I started documenting cycling culture, not a lot of media outlets were talking about them. And so I became friends with a lot of these guys over the years and got to know their kind of MO, how they build, what their techniques are. And you know, what you end up with are a group of individuals that have very unique styles, and a lot of them are influenced and inspired by the first generation of mountain bikes, i.e. mountain cruisers and clunkers. Is the walrus stash frozen yet? No. Last year, one of our editors, Josh Weinberg, did a profile on Sean Burnsey up in Fort Collins. He makes Oddity Cycles. And yeah, I guess you could say these bikes do look like an oddity. They don't look like your standard hardtail. They're made with standard hardtail techniques, but they always have something, I don't know, odd about them, right? And Burnsey makes these stunning bikes for these like hand-built frame builder showcases. This year at the Made show in Portland, he had a titanium and steel bike that used like couplers to join the materials, and it was a statement on the fine finishes that you see at bike shows. So he let the steel tubes patina while keeping the crucial junctions of the frame titanium. And it was this something I've never seen before in the frame building world. And so I guess you could say that my interest was really honed in on what Burnsey was doing, because we had Josh doing an awesome profile of him in his shop, and then you had this amazing made bike. So when we took independence of the Radavist back over, we launched a peer-to-peer marketplace where people could sell used bikes and gear and camping equipment and photography gear and just kind of anything related to the content of the Radavist. And one of the first bikes on the Rad Bazaar was this pink oddity. And earlier that year, I'd seen when Sean made a sale on his Instagram of this bike. So Burnsey built this for himself and then rode it for a little bit and sold it, which a lot of frame builders do that. They get to test out ideas and they get to like kind of keep their Instagram feed fresh. So Burnsey sold this to a guy up in Duluth, and the bike ended up being a little too long for him, which when I heard that, I was like, maybe this would actually work for me, because Burnsey had always called it a size large, and I'm usually an XL or a double XL in bikes. So I had Jacob, the guy that owned the frame, pull a few measurements, and you know, the tip of the saddle to the handlebar clamp was like pretty much in line with what I rode. So bought the bike from Jacob. He sold me the frame and the fork, built it up with some used parts, like the whole drivetrain from my Murmur, and these Moonmen bars that I got with my Black Cat. And then, you know, got the homies at White Industries and Paul and MRP to kind of send some parts out to, you know, not only to review the fork, but just to kind of like celebrate a bunch of, you know, US made manufacturers like coming together on a really unique pink bicycle. So for a size large, this thing has quite a long reach. You know, I'm 6'2" with a 36-inch inseam and like a 6'4" wingspan. And so that number, the tip of the saddle to the handlebar clamp for me is usually around 58 centimeters. And the bike fit perfectly. So built it up in the middle of winter, which as you can see in Santa Fe, is not ideal riding conditions, but we thought it'd be fun to go out and see how sloppy this thing can get in the snow. Oh my God, I thought this was the desert. There we go. Yeah, it's packed in, it's not bad. It's gonna be cold going down that tire. So hard. So hard. Woo! The rocking on my butt. Oh, that actually hurt. Oh, my butt on a rock. Oh. So anyway, that's about my big pink bike. Oh, dude, you know those falls where you feel your spine completely crack, like up? It's like a chiropractor. That's what that was. If you like these videos of weirdos doing silly stuff on their bikes in the woods, please like and subscribe. My highly overpaid social media consultant told me to say that at the end of the videos. Thanks. Whoa,